And that is what the meditation is calling you to. That, hey, sit up. Some of the things that you've been doing, you may think is your own choice, your own will. You're running on some other people's, you call it suggestive mind, suggestive thinking. And these things are coming to you all around about you every day. You are being bombarded, like they're saying, it's about 48 million thoughts that comes to your mind every day. People end up saying, oh, things happen to me. I'm not happening to life, but life is happening to me. And that we want to avoid.
Welcome once again to TRK Multimedia. The last time we met, we talked about human fallen state or conditions and how to overcome vulnerabilities and weakness. Today we still have this wonderful person here, Mr. Ajiman of Akaba.
Yeah, for having me.
And I'm telling you. If today happen to be the first time that you are watching us and you've not subscribed to our channel, try as much as possible to subscribe to the channel at TRK Multimedia. When you finish, then you share. Today, just like I told you, the last time we met, we talked about human falling state and the vulnerabilities and weakness. Today, we are going to continue with how to overcome that vulnerabilities and weakness. Before I continue, I want to encourage you that this very book, Counsel of the Living Saint, or the Meditations of Christian Saint, when you go to Amazon, why don't you put it on TikTok Market or TikTok Shop and other shopping site, but
Well,
only Amazon.
Yeah, I'm new to social media, so maybe you can help me.
Yeah, that is it. Okay, we will see how we can go to that market, because I think yes, it's what the namdo don sen kwan, right? Good. Come to me baby boo baby.
To me, found good seeing you now soon.
To me in Falkusi and go one basket.
One basket.
Cool.
So
you have to spread it out.
Correct.
All right. Thank you so much. Wafa, the last time we met, we talked about human falling state. We talked a lot. We were able to recognize me. For one, I was able to recognize my weakness and vulnerabilities. Today, the chapter that we are going to talk about is how to overcome or overcoming human falling state or our vulnerabilities and weakness. Ubia ewosinto. We all have weaknesses. We all have but when you fall, you should be able to get up. The most important thing is to get up, right? Yeah, get up from your falling state. That is the most important thing. Overcoming vulnerabilities. When you talk of overcoming vulnerabilities, what do you mean by that?
Thank you, TRK, for having me again. It's always a pleasure and a wonderful time to spend with you and also with your viewers. So thank you again. Yeah, in the book, I discussed that humanity, I just don't look at individual challenges that we have in life or individual weaknesses that we have, but I'm looking at it holistically, like all human beings. What the Bible talks about, we have fallen and fall short to the glory of God. So the glory that we're supposed to be manifesting as the God essence in us, we're falling short of it. So we are looking at ways when you come into this world that you can overcome some of these vulnerabilities or weaknesses that is kind of part and parcel of humanity, like you being a human. These are the things that you face. So we talked about mortality, that we all die. And we are looking at as death as cessation of life on this earth, and then also cessation as the God essence in existence in a cosmic universe or after death, right? Because we know we are spirit, soul in a body. So we have, for Christians, we have Jesus Christ who came, and because of him, we have hope of Christ in you, the hope of glory. That after this life, we just don't live this life alone, and after this life, we have somewhere to go. And it's a place of peace, of joy, of harmony, and also union with God who created us. So one, I would say, because of death and the fear of death, man has to kind of live to a higher calling, as we calling people to a saintly life. that when they die, they have hope, not just like you live in this world and you don't have any hope. Because even as I speak right now, there are people who have riches of this world, and brother, they just don't want to die. They find in all means so that they can live and continue to enjoy the life that they have on this earth. So we also talk about the fact that there is a need for need upon men, that you come into this world, there's lack, and some of the scarcity or lack that we have, it is not natural. I mean, it is there's abundance, according to the book as I've written it. I believe there's abundance wherever a man is born. There is enough resources that can keep the man forever that you are born, but it's because of mismanagement of these resources, or the lack of knowledge of the use of the resources in the land. That's why we have this scarcity, as we can see, and the whole economy that we have, or the structure of governance, is built on scarcity. So there is that need upon us to provide, to survive, and then also to live. So we all have needs, and as individuals, you gotta find yourself, work, educate yourself, build yourself up in that regard to be able to have the resources, not money, because money is a means to an end. The end is the resources that you need for your life essence to live on. So it's not just money. You got to get things going that will give you resources or worth creating. And then we talk about limited knowledge, and then we are talking about we come into this world we don't know. We all have to learn, but religion and education in itself was supposed to awaken knowledge from within, revelation, trance, dreams, whichever way that you can know, other than people telling you. Because as we said, if all you know is from outside, then you stand being manipulated, disinformation, and kind of exploited, because you come and you don't know. As we all know, babies don't really know, and then as we grow, we learn. So if you're able to awaken a discernment and judgment from within, which is accurate, then you have a way to live a life which is kind of as we call in, to overcome the vulnerability of not knowing.
Oh, okay. According to your book, you stated that um, some of the vulnerabilities we talked about: self-awareness, education, and knowledge. What do you call it? Physical fitness and stuff. When you summarize, or what I'm going to say about all these things, because we don't have that much time to like
Yeah,
go
but
through.
because of cause and effect. I mean, when it comes to what we eat, we know the Bible makes mention that man shall not live by bread alone. So we need to understand, as Christians, as we know, saints, we live in two dimensions. You live physically and you live spiritually. So you can't just say, "Oh, I pray all the time," and you don't go to work, or you don't have means to make an end meet. I mean, frankly speaking, even when we go to church, we know we have to give offerings and all that for the work of God to progress. So individually, we need to have the means to live. So in the end, you're not living by bread alone. That means God acknowledges that you need bread. That means there is a need that needs to be accomplished. So, as saints, as Christians, we encourage each other to be responsible, to be accountable, and then also live a life that is able to offer also unto others. And it comes to our physical body, that is the house you live in. And
Okay.
sad to say, so many people ignore that there is a cause and effect as to what you feed in the body. The body needs some exercises that needs for it to grow and then become stronger, and then also for your body essence to be able to continue on the work that they do. Your organs to be able to function as best as they can or should be. You need to do all these things, and the Bible make mention that bodily exercise profits, right? But spiritual exercises or godly exercise profits unto all things. So he's saying that physically you need to do exercise. He didn't disregard the fact that you need to do exercise. He says bodily exercise profits. So there's profitability in you doing bodily exercises. And sadly, sometimes because of where we are, work and life situations, does not really permit us to exercise the body as we're supposed to, and not necessarily doing so much of rigorous and trying to get six pack or some macho body or something. But there is essential that you do some exercises to include breathing exercises. And it's serious to note that there is a way of thinking or a way of consciousness where you fail to breathe well. And so many people are deficient of, I wouldn't say necessarily oxygen, but essence of life because they don't breathe well. Because remember, the Bible says that he breathed the breath of life into the formed body and it became a living soul. So breath in itself, I mean, if you stop breathing for a long while, you know what happens to the body. So definitely we need to learn how to breathe well. And sometimes you get so focused on something doing or thinking in a way that you kind of deficit yourself in your breathing. And we need to learn how to breathe. I mean, it's sad, but to say that like learn how to breathe, right? But people think like, oh, we all breathe, but we need to learn how to breathe. Yeah.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are still on the meditation of Christian saints, and we are now talking about how to overcome our weakness. You know, all of us, we have weaknesses and how to overcome. If I may understand you, get it clear, overcoming weakness is number one, recognizing your weakness itself.
Yeah.
How you to be able to recognize that, hey, this is my weakness. I have weakness. Yes, we all, Bible says, for all have sinned and fall short to the glory of God. For the weakness, you know, we all have weakness. But to be able to recognize and accept that this is my weakness is also a big challenge. Then number two, making a conscious effort. That is, if you know you are weak in this, if you need exercise, you do exercise. If you need to reduce your food intake, you have to reduce your food intake. If it's about womanizing, you recognize it's okay. I have to make a conscious effort to stop it. Is that what you are saying?
So yes, I mean, you really brought it down to kind of individual levels, but many a times we fail to see, because we're dealing with devils, as I mentioned, that the effect of influence on community or the whole as a humanity subject to manipulation, exploitation, deception is something that we tend not to look at. We always kind of look very close to ourselves and identify individual burdens. But I strongly believe, more to say, like I always say, normally the estate and condition of an individual is largely dependent on the existing or past kind of rulership. So sometimes there are things that you may think is just my individual causation. That means cause and effect. But if you're looking at it holistically as human beings, there are other factors that contribute to where you are that it is not necessarily is you. For instance, you are in a place where there is war. There are so many things that you'll be limited. You're in a place where there is no education system, or the education system is not effective enough. Like you can go to school, get all these things. Imagine so many kids go to school and all these things, but they don't have opportunity to go to the university or college. And if there's in a place where this opportunity is not there, then it's not necessarily your cause, but in a larger scope, it's more of a bigger thing than you are just looking at yourself as the cause.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching us, and I believe you're enjoying the program. We are still here with Mr. Ajman Bonsu. Boss, everybody did both to us. We didn't Jambra and Uncle for born in Jamina. Jamina is a name, but my name is Jambra. You have to stay put and hang in there and have faith that no matter how, no matter what the situation may be, you can also overcome your weakness. We are going to pause for a short break. When we come back, you will dive into the meditation itself. Don't go anywhere, stay put. The name once again is Ata Bafo Jambra. You can always call me the Royal King. Let's have this commercials.
Hold on a moment. Are you in need of a web developer, SEO services, digital marketing, graphic design, or even on-site services like artist booking, handyman, house cleaning, and event services? We've got you covered. Save yourself the stress of searching. Let us get you the professionals who can provide you with high-quality services for your business and your needs at an affordable price. Freelance experts, screened by Vasca, are prepared to provide you with exactly what you need, whether you are searching for online services or on-site services. Your satisfaction is guaranteed since our trusted experts wait to be paid until you give your final approval. Know exactly what you pay upfront with no hidden fees, whether your project requires a fixed or even hourly. Your dedicated Vasca support personnel is at your service 24/7. So place your service with confidence. Your expert freelancer is waiting to complete your work right now. Vasca. Expect quality, pay less.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to TRK Multimedia. We are still on our program trying to get things right. You know, like this book, it's not because the writer himself is here. It's because of what has happened to my way of thinking, my way of associating with others when I started reading this book. So I think it's worth reading. Mr. Ajiman, welcome once again.
Thank you.
All right. So when I was reading the meditation, we got to the meditation, and when I was reading, I met the meditation one, right? The first one. I met something like deemed your meditation one is deemed your constructive connections, association, networking, But you made mention of one thing that rings bell is all your association and relationship and networking worth transaction. How can you, relate relationship and networking as transaction?
Thank you. Thank you once again. Yes, the first meditation, and it says that deem your constructive connections, associations, relationship as worth transaction. This bring and presents the fact that our relationships that we have, there is an exchange, and that's where the transactions comes in. There is always an exchange. Either the relationship is kind of unconditional love relationship, like a father and a child. The father gives to the child. There's that exchange in there. And of course, in the first round, we don't necessarily get anything. That's why it is said unconditional love to the father. And then you have the mutual kind of relationship, mutual benefits, and that is your co-workers, those relationships that you build. And then also you have the strategic relationship, and that is one that you have for a particular purpose and a need in your life that you build those relationships. So all relationships are not the same, as we all know. And it is to bring out the fact that it's worth, right? It is worth. There is kind of resources that are generated or can be generated from it. We are not saying that all Christians or saints should have the mindset that you're only building relationship that benefits you. But rather what we are saying is that we need to understand that the world is built on a kind of a structure and a dynamic that is more like whom you know. This is something that is going on, and we don't want our Christian brothers or the saints to be kind of naive to the fact that there is a system that runs the world. And then relationship also in itself is like a currency. Is worth. I mean, if you have Elon Musk as your friend right now, there are so many things that somebody may work for to get, but you will not. If you have the chief of police, I mean, even think about Ghana, you have the chief of police as your friend. And not necessarily he's going to get you out of trouble, but we know the benefit that comes out of it. If you have or Tikokoswo as your
Your uncle.
your uncle, there's so many that comes in that. So it's telling our Christian brothers, or it's telling people that reading the book to understand that yes, there is worth in building friendship. There's worth in building relationship, and we are saying this in the fact that sometimes we have ourselves kind of thinking it's spiritual to not have friends or not build these kind of connections and be to ourselves isolation. So yes, it's worth. I believe, strongly believe that if you build constructive networking, it really helpful for your survival opportunity and then also resources in this world.
When I was in China, they call networking guanxi. It is very important in the life of every Chinese, networking, not ordinary friendship. There's difference between friendship and networking.
That's true.
Yeah. Chinese, they value networking more than friendship. You made mention of you have to seek to connect and interact wisely. So, what is the meaning of that? Does it mean that when you are connecting and interacting, you need to get physical profit or benefit from it? Is that what it means, or what is the meaning of that? Connect and interact wisely.
And not at all. I mean, in the modern age, if we're talking about friends and building networking, we know when you are having like Facebook, it says connect, right? So the word used there is kind of something that is used in a term in our modern life, contemporary. We use those words, connecting. So yes, and then we are thinking this is also a lesson from the parable of the steward. In Luke chapter 16, Jesus mentioned about this manager that managed his master's kind of resources. And what he did was the manager kind of, and the master understood that the manager was mismanaging the resources. So he had in his heart to fire the manager. And this is using our own terms, not necessarily what the Bible terms that he uses. So he called a man and then he asked him to make accounts. This steward went around knowing that he would be fired, and then he went to individuals that owned the master. So he says, "Hey, how much are you owning the master?" He says, "I'm owning 400." And he said, "Cancel it, write 100. Bill, a certificate, and he gives to him. "How much are you owing?" Then he asks another person, "I'm owing 150. Cancel it, make it 30. So this man, the scriptures makes us understand that the boss was like, this guy is very wise. I mean, he's wise in the way that he knew and understood the operation of the system. And then he made what? Accommodation that when he gets fired, he will not become homeless or he will not become someone without anywhere to go. And this story was said by Jesus. And Jesus himself then said something profoundly that he said that the people of this world are wiser than the people of light. And he said that we should make friends with our money, that when it fails, we have somewhere to go, right? That they will take us in eternally. So Jesus even acknowledged the fact that there is this wise way of making that. And that is what I meant by the strategic kind of relationship you're making. Jesus was not condoling or kind of endorsing dishonesty, but he was presenting the dynamics of the world. And as I said, we don't want the saints or the Christian to be at a disadvantage and not know the ways of the world. Because as we always say, the first law of life is survival. We need them to survive, but nevertheless, because everybody is surviving and somebody else is going to take advantage of you because of your naivety or ignorance of the system, how the world runs. So we want them to understand that, hey, you need to make the connections outside your comfort zone and your natural order of making friends. Because some of us, our friends, our circles of influence or acquaintance are just the people that naturally that comes in our way. We don't go beyond our natural course of life. And I mean, it's not easy, right? Like if you are introvert or you are somebody that keeps to yourself and you go into a social environment, even the will to go to the social environment, you're like, no, I'm not going. And even when you go, you want to be secluded and be in your corner. But no, this is the world and the dynamics and how the world runs. So we all have to learn how to live this one and be strategic about it. And it's no way trying to commodify human beings, right? But rather we trying to let people understand how the world runs and then be wise at it.
So this is according to your explanation, right? But don't you think that when a Christian, a staunch Christian, buys your book and reading and come across it, he or she may have different interpretation to what you are saying?
That I can understand the risk in the language, right? And most of the times that happens a lot in communicating spiritual truth or communicating a meaning which you're trying to use words which is not your mother tongue, right? I can understand that there is that risk of misinterpreting it as such, and I thank you for this opportunity to offer kind of the actual intended meaning behind the meditation. And the meditation here is just even as Christians, we just don't have, he says, what does light have to do with darkness? And that even tells you that you need to be strategic in selecting your friends or the people that comes into your circle. So whoever is reading this, I understand there are some people you would not want to be in your life, and it's true, but there are some people you need in your life, irrespective of how you may perceive their life to be. Because remember, when Jesus came, he was still friends with the sinners, with the drunkards, with the tax collectors. For what reason? Because strategically, it was important for the kingdom. So you need to be wise at how you connect, either online or physically. You need to be wise at making those connections.
All right. This is becoming very interesting. And the place to have it is TRK Multimedia. Mr. Ajman, thank you so much for your time. And I believe you're also jotting down some questions and concerns. You're going to write them at the comment section. The name to call me is TRK. If you want to write it at Abafo Jambra. When I was reading the meditation too, I came across some statement, and I was like, this man is like, is it someone who talks with proverbs, like Christ himself was always talking with proverbs. If you don't take care, you won't understand him. Let me read the meditation too to you, public. Know that there is opportunity cost to the thoughts you entertain at every instant. What does it mean? Opportunity cost to the thoughts you entertain at every instant.
So this kind of opportunity course, I heard that a lot growing up because my father is like economics. He's taught economics in secondary school. So we had a lot of this word in our minds, and it's very important that we come to understand that time is passing, time is life, right? I always say life is the expressions of God or manifestation of God's essence in time and space. So whenever you have a thought that you are thinking about, know that there is another thought that you could have thought about. At that time, right now, we're doing meditation, not just space that I'm present here, that I'm missing another place I could have been, but the very mind that we are discussing right now. There could have been something else we could have entertained or discussed or have as a program. So yes, in our mind, when we begin to think about things, whatever that you are thinking of, know that there could be other mind or thoughts that you could have entertained in your mind, refined, reasoned, understand, meditate, that you were missing on. So in your thought realm, because the last time we said the mind is very huge when it comes to who you are. So if you keep entertaining things that are poisonous, things that are detrimental, things that can corrupt your mind or drain or kind of drown the mind or become parasitic, then you are missing a lot too in life.
You made me remember what my former boss, Nana Yawobi, told me of Agreement Fame. He told me one thing. But before I tell you, just hold on for us. We're going to go for a short break. When we come back, I'm going to tell you what my boss told me and what is it about. Then we could dive into the meditation too. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly after the break.
Hold on a moment. Are you in need of a web developer, SEO services, digital marketing, graphic design, or even on-site services like artist booking, handyman, house cleaning, and event services? We've got you covered. Save yourself the stress of searching. I'm prepared to provide you with exactly what you need, whether you are searching for online services or on-site services. Your satisfaction is guaranteed since our trusted experts wait to be paid until you give your final approval. Know exactly what you pay upfront with no hidden fees. Whether your project...
Vasca is telling you that bring everything that you want to. No, Vasca, they now have an office in Ghana. They have a big space, very beautiful space. They started gradually here. As I grow, they have a big space in Ghana and they are making it big. Why? Because of Omonokredie, because they are truthful, because they are diligent in their working, because when you give them work now, a job to do within a week, less than a week, you have it. They can design your website, design your logo, design your flyers. Now they are into estate development. They will, if you are in abroad and you want to build in Ghana, in Nigeria, in South Africa, wherever you want to build, they have partners there. They will find you a reliable masons and architect to do your wonderful job for you. Then after that, you pay them. I mean, hey,
That's interesting.
yes, that's interesting. They are doing a wonderful job. You can visit them on www.vascafreelancer.com, or you can call the number on your screen 210-852-3584. I'm going to connect you straight to Vasca Freelancers. Then, as well, if you want to get a copy of this book, you can go to Amazon. I'm trying to talk to him to extend it to TikTok shops and other shops to see how best we can spread this message because it's good. I love you. That is what the music says. Mr. Hajiman, meditation 2. Let me read it all for the benefit of our viewers. Meditation 2 says that know that there is opportunity cost to the thoughts you entertain at every instant. The resulting decision you produce and the actions you pursue or attain. Leave not to chance, knowingly or unknowingly. Their way is opportunity cost. This is like a poem. What do you mean by that? We're going to conclude with it. This is the final one that we want to do. What is the meaning of that, Mr. Hajiman?
It's very important. I mean, it's very, very important we come in terms to understand that time is life. Time is life. And we're looking at, on average, you got 70 years. And we say the first 20 years is for your identification, knowing yourself, being aware of your existence. And then the last 20 years, like 50 to 70, is where you kind of reminiscence. Like you're trying to kind of enjoy life or just trying to understand. Some live in regret, some live in fulfillment that you've done something, achieved something in life. So you kind of have like 30 years window, which of course is depending on where you are geographically. There are some countries where the initial 20 years can extend all the way to 40 years. They say life begins at 40 in some places. That means you have like 40 years to identify yourself and have the self-awareness or self-actualization. That means you come to life like if you're a swabobra. So in that sense, it is very important that the actions and our thoughts that we kind of indulge in, we are very careful and aware of. As we mentioned, there are opportunity costs. That means, for instance, now when you just open your TikTok, there are so many videos, there are so many voices, there are so many ideas, there are so many things, and each one is kind of looking for a space in your mind or in your heart or for you to act on. So if you're not careful, you may spend the whole life on something which didn't even benefit you. And that is where we are saying it's opportunity cost. And it's sad to say some get to like the 50 years going, then it dawns on them the regrets in life. And that is one of the major things that we hear a lot, people that I've spoken with, that tells us that, oh, okay, I mean, there are so many things can reclaim my time in life. I would do it differently. And it all starts with the mind, where what you've been consuming, what you've been exercising your mind on, what you've been kind of feeding your mind on. It is definitely that reflects as a cycle and a loop in your actions.
So, if I may understand you. The meditation is a whole as a whole. Meditation itself as a whole is about trying to figure out what you are wasting what I mean, the kind of life that you are living that is being wasteful, or what you are doing that is not helping, then you find a way to, like, uh, make it up. Find a way to make. Is that what you mean? Like, let's take for example, I'm in a certain life, maybe in my youthful age, in high school, following friends, smoking, in where we come from, drinking, partying, knowing that these things are wasteful, these things are not helping. So you have to sit down, meditate, ponder upon all these things, and come into agreement that, hey, I have to have a turning point. I have to have a change of mind, change of attitude that will probably help my future, but not mar my future. Is that what you mean?
Yes, in a way, it aligns with, I think it's Romans chapter 12. Do not be conformed to the standard of this world, but by the renewal of the mind. And so it is the carnal mind to just kind of sway around. And normally I call it secondary and then primary thinking. So for the mind that is untrained, right, it is just kind of responsive. Anything that comes around, he react to it, he just pick it up and then run with it. We say people say they are thinking, but I call it like the secondary thinking, which maybe in time we will talk about that. In that we just respond to external stimuli, our senses, without necessarily claiming and taking hold of our mind and being responsible for the things that goes on in our mind. And that is what the meditation is calling you to. That, hey, sit up. Some of the things that you've been doing, you may think is your own choice, your own will. You're running on some other people's, you call it suggestive mind, suggestive thinking. They suggest the thing in adverts. This, you just pass by, you saw it, so you're doing the same thing without even realizing. But you thought that I made a decision to smoke, but you know how much money they spend on an advert for you to get you to smoke, right? But you think, oh, I made a decision to smoke, and then another man may say like, oh, me pema pa na miana me make a decision.
Yeah.
Yes, you are making a decision, and that is how the world holds people responsible, and that's how we keep order. That regardless of the elements that get you to where you are still responsible for it. We will hold you accountable for it. But it's up to you to understand that the things that are around you can influence you, can take hold of your mind, that the time that you should have for thinking the things that are beneficial to you, that will move you forward and successful in life, you spending on things that are not necessarily helping you. And these things are coming to you all around about you every day. You are being bombarded, like they're saying, it's about 48 million thoughts that comes to your mind every day. And some of these things are just from outside. So if you don't have
48
control,
million.
if you don't have control, all these things are coming into your mind and you just acting upon it, thinking you are making your own choices. But needless to say, you don't have control over your mind. You are not like in control. They're just happening to you. And it's sad to say people end up saying, oh, things happen to me. I'm not happening to life, but life is happening to me. And that we want to avoid.
I was talking about my former boss, Nana Obin of Agrimat fame. He once, I remember, and I will never forget. He once said, Bernard, do you know how much a bottle of beer costs? I said, I don't know because I don't drink it. He said, you see, that is good. So that time, bottle of beer is, I think, 12 cities, not 12 Ghana cities, 12 old cities that time. And at that time, to one building block, is 3 cities. I think 3 cities, 20 pesos. So you know where I'm going. So he said, Bernard, you are a young guy. So if you don't drink, it's a good idea. If you drink, let me do the calculation for you. If you drink 1 bottle of beer, it means you've intentionally bought, I think, 4 building blocks to destroy it. And do you know how many, he was calculating it, do you know how many blocks can build 1 bedroom? You rent 1 bedroom here, right? So if you can get a space and calculate it, you buy a whole crate of beer. Crate of beer can build 1 bedroom to a window level. Then I was looking at you, see, this man is thinking like a businessman. Do you understand? So just opportunity cost, exactly. That is what I was trying to tell you. I mean, people think differently. Rich men think differently,
Oh, that's
and
true.
poor men think differently.
That's true.
It's a poor man who will get money. Also, I mean, been in my breast with your baby. Do you understand? But a rich man will get it today and try to invest. So, which is very very important. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we talked about the how to overcoming our weaknesses, and we talked about meditation one, meditation two. But before we close up, Mr. Ajiman, um, summarize the whole thing, meditation one and two. The next time we meet, we're going to talk about meditation three. Then we go on and on. We have how many meditations? Like
300.
300 meditations. Yeah, 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 yeah. In this, if you're not abasa, yeah. Not today. We're going to continue another time. So let's summarize what do you have for us before we close.
Yeah, but back to meditation one, it is just to emphasize that we are no way saying that people should just look for only friendship that benefit them. People should disregard people after they find maybe they are no longer used to them. That means you're looking at people if they're disabled, they are lost, or they can't contribute to you at a point in life. You need to just veer away from such people. No, not at all. The meditation is no way looking at it. However, it acknowledges the fact that we do have the instrumental value and then also the intrinsic value of man. So you're looking at intrinsic value, which is definitely the God-given essence, which is God's life in the person, which is infinite, and then also is valuable, priceless. And then you are looking at what the world has structured on, and is what you contribute or what you bring to the table, which is also very important that we all develop ourselves and bring value to the table at all times. So yes, it is a very intense meditation for individuals to reflect on their lives and build kind of the connections that will take them places that they need to be in life. Or at the same time, we are calling you to be a saint and continue to give to those that do not have love unconditionally and sacrificially, and be a saint for God.
Be a saint for God. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where time is going to permit us. The name is Atabafo Jambra. And the program is TRK Discoveries. We discover a lot of things. Today we discovered how to, overcome our weaknesses. And we discovered meditation 1 and 2. And I was wondering what some of the key words are. We are fortunate to have with us Mr. Ajiman Bonsu, who is the author of this very book. So if today happened to be the first time that you are watching us and you've not subscribed, try as much as possible to subscribe to the channel. TRK Multimedia, when you finish, then you share. And if you've not bought the book, The Meditations of a Christian Saint, go to Amazon. It's just $15, right?
Yep.
Just $15. Go and purchase one, and it's going to help you. Until we meet another time, probably next week, what we are going to say is that enjoy the rest of your week. God bless you. And we are coming out with a very beautiful and fine program. You will be amazed and shocked. But I can't get to see Mr. Ajiman Bonsu here. He'll be behind the camera, chimmy things for us. My special shout out to Mrs. Ajiman Bonsu and the kids, and my lovely princess, and my lovely wife, and my lovely princess, the Jambra family. Special shout out to my brother Alex Jambra and his wife. I love you, Mido. We go to meet another time. You did a show from the chia. If you again the chia, right? You better is your frau. So we are going to end here. See you, and don't forget to buy one of the books. That is your sure one. Go and purchase it, and you're going to change the way you think. God bless you. Bye bye.